What is going on, guys? It is Wrestlelamia here, back with some more news. Join us now as we look at the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know, including a huge WWE return confirmed. Did WWE ruin a surprise return? An AEW wrestler banned from the show? A WWE star's injury is worse than expected? Do you remember this WWE star? Was Royce fired by WWE? And much more. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for daily wrestling videos, and follow us on Facebook for exclusive lists. Now let's do the intro and get straight into our first story. Now, our first story looks at a huge WWE return confirmed. Now, our top story today looks at news relating to a huge WWE return. It's now official. Brock Lesnar will be returning on Raw for the go-home edition of the show before Elimination Chamber. This news was announced by WWE yesterday, and naturally, fans are now speculating on what creative plans are now set for Brock Lesnar. It was previously reported that Lesnar would return after the Chamber, and this would be done so Lesnar could set up his WrestleMania feud. However, it appears that WWE are now moving forward with Lesnar's new storyline. Now, in relation to what Lesnar could be doing on the show, there are two theories at present. The first is that Brock Lesnar enters the Chamber. This seems like the most likely option at this stage. A 7-man Chamber has been done in the past, and it wouldn't come as a shock to see Paul Heyman use his influence within WWE to get Lesnar a spot in the annual matchup. Inserting Lesnar into the Chamber could easily set up his WrestleMania program, as the person who pins him could be his future opponent on the grand stage. Or number two, he's taken out of action by his WrestleMania opponent. Or what if Lesnar is planning on working a limited dates for WrestleMania season, so WWE are going to write Lesnar off TV indefinitely? WWE could have Lesnar's WrestleMania opponent, which looks to be either Gunther or Obafemi, taking him out, and this will naturally build up their eventual collision at WrestleMania 42. What do you guys think Brock Lesnar is going to do on his return on Raw? Do you think WWE should even waste a spot on Lesnar being in the Chamber? Next up, did WWE ruin a surprise return? Well, yesterday WWE started advertising Roman Reigns for next week's edition of Raw. This led to a ton of confusion as WWE already had formally released Reigns' Raw date for WrestleMania season, and next week's Raw wasn't on there. Was this a huge mistake on WWE's part, or is Reigns planning on making a surprise return on Monday? Well, there seems to be the former, as WWE quickly removed Reigns and he's no longer advertised for the show. This is kind of an awkward error, and it doesn't necessarily mean that Reigns won't make a surprise appearance on the show, but traditionally, all Reigns' dates and appearances are known in advance. That makes more sense to keep Reigns off television until the Chamber, as WWE are attempting to build up CM Punk vs Finn Balor Part 2, and reinserting Reigns into the picture may take away from Balor. When it comes to a Reigns surprise return, we can't rule out a surprise return at the Chamber itself, as Reigns confronting Punk after his match versus Balor would definitely be a surefire way to hype up the planned Night 2 WrestleMania main event. Next up, an AEW wrestler banned from the show? Well, last week, the main event of AEW Dynamite featured anti-ice chants, and WBD has reportedly taken action to stop these chants from occurring once again. The main event of the show featured Brody King, and King often uses his platform to speak out against ice, and he's even worn anti-ice clothing on AEW television. According to the Wrestling Observer Radio, WBD reportedly blocked King from appearing on last night's Dynamite. The deal is that they didn't want the fans in the arena to be chanting that. If Brody came out, there was that risk. When it comes back, it will happen again. I don't know how they're going to handle it. It's not a Tony call, this is from above. A report adds that the network simply doesn't want to get on Donald Trump's bad side. You know what it is, nobody wants to get on Trump's bad side. If it wasn't for that, nobody would care. It's just a chant. But unfortunately, they've got a company that they're trying to sell and get regulatory approval from a guy who's going to take that stuff personal. That's just how it is. No Brody King on the show when he absolutely, of course Brody King and MJF should have a segment on the show. Now, as things stand, AEW or Tony Khan has yet to comment on the matter, but it's possible that a statement will follow, especially with the mainstream media attention that this report is receiving. Next up, Logan Paul breaks character. Now, it's extremely rare for Logan Paul to break character in any capacity, but after Raw this week, the Vision member did just that. Logan would interact with a young fan, autograph his sign before hugging him in a moment that the young fan will never forget. This took place during the Dark segment for the show, which saw Logan eat a BFT at the hands of LA Knight. It was certainly a wholesome moment, and the character break was more than justified. Next up, a WWE injury worse than expected. It was reported this week that Chelsea Green's ankle injury doesn't appear to be serious. However, Green has now confirmed the worst possible news. Her ankle is broken. Green took to social media to reveal the news, and in typical Green fashion, she has incorporated it into her character. It looks to be her latest gimmick reinvention. It wouldn't come as a shock to see Green still make TV dates on crutches, as she's still that committed to her role of being a WWE star. A broken ankle can take up to 8 weeks to heal, which could mean that Green should on paper be at least back in time for WrestleMania. All that being said, there's a difference between a broken ankle recovery for an athlete, such as a pro wrestler, due to the intense nature of their job, so we can't rule out the possibility that Green misses the biggest show of the year. This news absolutely sucks, and we here at Wrestlelamia wish the former US Women's Champion a speedy recovery. Next up, Cody Rhodes never turning heel. Now, the idea of Cody Rhodes turning heel comes up in discussions every month on social media, and there continues to be a vocal push from some fans to see the American Nightmare turn to the dark side. However, when it comes to what Rhodes thinks about the idea, right now he's firmly against the idea of turning heel. Speaking to Live with Kelly and Mark, this is what the face of WWE had to say. For a long time, there were a lot of anti-heroes. Just recently, it felt like WWE hit this stride with so much youth in the audience that it felt like babyfaces came back to life. Jey Uso, for example, is someone that the kids go crazy for. Sami Zayn is out there doing it, and for me to be able to be in that spot, I don't want to leave it. It's so much fun. Some fans feel that Rhodes' babyface character is somewhat stale, and this is mainly down to how poorly WWE has booked Rhodes over the past 12 months or so. Whilst Rhodes may not need a heel turn, a more intense focused version of Rhodes is definitely needed, and this is what we've seen on WWE television as of late. A Rhodes heel turn was initially pitched early last year by The Rock, but Triple H and Rhodes both turned this down, and WWE ultimately went with the now infamous John Cena heel turn. Next up, the only person immune to Brock Lesnar. Now, Femi went on the No Contest podcast and dropped one of the best lines possible. Femi would talk about his face-off against Lesnar at the 2026 Royal Rumble PLE, and also mentioned that this was a deliberate teaser for his future match against Brock Lesnar. Our host O'Shea Jackson Jr. was also pointing out how Brock Lesnar has been so dominant over black champion wrestlers, name-dropping Kofi Kingston, Big E, and Omos. But Femi brought up one person who was immune to Brock Lesnar.
We have to remember something. There's one black person that Brock was not able to stop his momentum.
Let me know.
Raheem.
They're gonna love that one.
Raheem.
Let's cut that immediately.
Raheem was immune to Brock's stuff. So one win for us.
That's right, baby. That's right, baby. The nightmare, baby.
Now, this is in reference to the meme that Cody even referenced on SmackDown, saying he didn't get the nickname Raheem for no reason. Next up, the truth on the rumor of Royce Keys being fired. And there was speculation early in the week that WWE have released Royce Keys. Thankfully, this turned out to be factually incorrect, and we now know where Keys has been since the Royal Rumble. According to Fightful Select, the new WWE star was at the WWE HQ recently, and he filmed a podcast with Stephanie McMahon, which is set to debut soon. The podcast is usually reserved for the upper echelon of WWE talent, so this is a great sign that WWE has big things in store for the former AEW star. It's also been reported via WrestleVotes that Keys will be on SmackDown tomorrow, so the WWE should be full steam ahead when it comes to presenting Keys as a big deal on the main roster. Next up, a WWE star shares an emotional tribute to the passing of James Van Der Beek. A former WWE star Stacy Keibler posted an emotional tribute to actor James Van Der Beek following his passing at the age of only 48 after a battle with colorectal cancer. Keibler posted what would be one of James Van Der Beek's last ever photos, taken during his final days, and posted a heartfelt message with it. Spending these final days with you has been a true gift from God. I've never been so present in my life. When you know time is sacred, you don't waste a single breath. You don't rush. You don't scroll. You don't worry about tomorrow. You sit, you listen, you hold hands, you watch the sky change colors, and you let it change you too. We'd like to offer our condolences to the family and friends of James Van Der Beek. Next up, a WWE Hall of Famer defended. Now, over the years, there have been a number of allegations directed at JBL relating to bullying. Now, one of the names who was certainly a victim of the bullying earlier on in his career has defended the Hall of Famer, and The Miz has outright declared that JBL was nothing but supportive of him during the start of his career. Speaking on The Undertaker's podcast, The Miz revealed, "You know what's weird? JBL gets a lot of flack for bullying or being an asshole. He gets a lot of that, but it really wasn't him. He was a person who took me aside and he said, 'Hey kid, you're doing a good job. Keep doing this, this, and this. Keep it up.'" The Miz continued by stating that the bullying he suffered mainly came from mid-card talent. It was more the people around who weren't in top spots. It was the ones who weren't solidified trying to prove something, like, "Hey, watch me get this real world kid. Watch me stiff him." The podcast appearance is receiving rave reviews, and it gives fans a great inside look at The Miz and the man behind the character. Next up, The Undertaker buries young wrestlers. Now, The Undertaker is yet again taking aim at the next gen of wrestling stars. Speaking on his podcast this week, Taker stated that the current generation lack grit and they haven't had any true hardship. They need a little something that gives them an edge. That's the fine line. Does it need to be the extreme that I went through? No, but there is that sense of true struggle. Once I decided I was leaving school to be a professional wrestler, everyone told me, "You're stupid, you're making a mistake." I refused any help. There were times I was sleeping in my car, bouncing through clubs just to scrape up enough money to go to wrestling school. And the dead man would add that their lack of struggle reflects in the product. Obviously, we don't see that kind of struggle now, but there's something missing at times. The edge, the grit. I don't know how you can create that, but a lot of times you can see that in the product. And naturally, these comments are causing controversy online as the dead man is making a habit of targeting young gen wrestlers, and it's not exactly a great look for the WWE Hall of Famer. And finally, do you remember this WWE star? He's now working at Walmart. Our final story today looks at the status of former WWE star John Heidenreich. Heidenreich is mostly known for his infamous feud with The Undertaker during the Ruthless Aggression era and that backstage segment with Michael Cole, but a fan managed to spot the former WWE name working in a local Walmart, and he was even kind enough to pose for a photo. Heidenreich last wrestled back in 2018, and whilst his WWE run didn't pan out the way he expected, he was said to be a fantastic human being, so it's nice to see that he's still happy to interact with WWE fans and is earning an honest living. But there you have it, folks, the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know. Be sure to leave your comments down below. I'll see you next time with some more wrestling content.